Because Nagar Sankirtan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing everywhere. Or Kirtan he did all the time. We say, or Mahaprabhu said, Kirtaniya Sadahari. We say Kirtaniya Sadahari, but we don't do Kirtan Sada all the time. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that. He chanted all the time. And as soon as he chanted, he could immediately begin dancing. Naam nache, prem nache, nache prem dhan. Naam nache, jeev nache, nache prem dhan. Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes this. The holy name dances. What does that mean, holy name dances? How could holy name dance? Could someone say, how could holy name dance?
Because he's a person, he has a personality.
Good, good. Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is holy, not holy man, and holy name also, is both. So, holy name, Naam Nache. The holy name dances. Jeev Nache, the living entity dances. Mahaprabho Kirtana Nritya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manaso Rasena Romanchakam Pashrutaranga Vajo Vande Guru Sri Sharanarvindam. So that was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting, and he was chanting, he was the name. He was chanting, he was the name. Name and chanting. Mahaprabhu chanting. Really. In fact, you could hear some chanting going on.
Yes,
This dham is known, Pandhapur dham is known for Nada Brahma. Nada Brahma. Nada Brahma. Or you could call it Nama Brahma. It's always chanting here. And all the devotees, all the saints associated with this Pandhapur Dham, they have always propagated, chanted the Naam and propagated the Naam also. Amongst them is Tukaram Maharaj. You heard of Tukaram Maharaj? Tukaram Maharaj ki Jai. Panduranga, Panduranga, they also chant. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari, 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 Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he further established this Yuga Dharma by visiting Pandhapur Dham, by chanting and dancing. And it is said, and I will not, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the dream, he initiated Tukaram. And Tukaram took to the chanting, but he was mostly chanting Jai Ram Krishna Hari. So the chanting is very strong all over Maharashtra and all around. Otherwise, Panduranga, 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 Pandu, Panduranga. Pandu means pale, pale. Pila, pila, pale, pila, samastha pila. Pila means yellow, yellowish. So that is the complexion of the Lord. Well, he's a Krishna himself. So. Haribol. When Krishna in Vrindavan does the Go-charan Leela, cow herding pastimes. And how many cows does he? 9 lakhs cows. When they graze, and they walk also over the next grass, pasturing ground. So lots of dust is raised. Also while coming from Nandagram into the forest, going from forest to forest, or going from forest to back to Nandagram again in the evening.
cows walk and the dust is raised. So much dust is raised and then finally it settles, right? And everything gets covered. The trees and bushes and even lakes and cows and the covered boys, and of course Krishna is also covered with that dust. So otherwise his Ghanasham, his complexion is like monsoon clouds complexion. But then he looks Panduranga. Ranga, complexion, is like the complexion of the Braj or Raj. Raj, the dust of Braj. Or Renu of Braj. There's a Renu and there's a Venu and Dhenu of Braj. They're all famous, popular. So when Krishna is covered with that Braj, Raj, and then you look at him and you oh, Panduranga. He looks like he's a Panduranga. Krishna covered with the dust of Braj. Or when there's lots of chandan, sandalwood paste all over his body, again he looks Panduranga, so much. So that's how he gets named Panduranga. So otherwise he's Krishna himself. There's also there's a Pandhapur, and there's also Gopalpur here. It's like a twin holy places, like twin cities, twin towns. There are twin holy dhams here. Pandhapur and Gopalpur. Yes, they are next to each other. You may, I don't know what the plan is. Tomorrow? So, so that is like a Vrindavan. That's like a Gokul, in fact. There's a little hill which is not different from Govardhan of Vrindavan. There's also Jamuna flows. And you'll also see footprints of Krishna's footprints and Krishna's cows, hoof prints, and the flute print. I think this all is there in Gopalpur. So this is Krishna. But then he had come here from Dwarka, Vrindavan to Mathura to Dwarka to Pandhapur. This is how Krishna ended up in Pandhapur. So he had come looking for Rukmini, the whole pastime. Rukmini becomes Manini, like Radha becomes Manini, Man. Becomes angry or sulky, as it were. left. She had left Dwarka. Rukmini left Dwarka. She had come. And she was in the forest here. Other bank of the river called Dindir One. Dindir One, probably I heard. Or we also have a book called O Vaikont. I have compiled a book called Pandhapur Mahatmya. If you could try to get the copies. It's also in English and Hindi and several other languages. Yeah, why don't you do that? Then I don't have to talk. So Dwarkadish had to come looking for Rukmini. You are hearing in the back, right? You are in the back. You are able to hear. I'm not going to last very long. I'm just a little longer. And then, after attempting to pacify Rukmini, the Lord goes to Pundalik. You heard the name of Pundalik? Say Pundalik. Pundalik. Or they say Pundarik or Pundalik. More Pundalik is known as more. It's Pundalik. His house is in river bed, still there. All the pilgrims, when they come, first they go to Pundalik's house to take his darshan. Or even maybe thank Pundalik. Thank you, Pundalik. Thank you, Pundalik. Why thank him? Because Lord had gone to see Pundalik. And when they met, eventually, Pundalik made a special request to the Lord. My dear Lord, thank you for coming to Pandhapur and giving me darshan and all that. Anugrahitosmi, I'm very grateful for having your audience. And then he had a very special appeal to the Lord. And that was, my dear Lord, you please stay here. Stay here. And then, what could Lord do? Aham bhaktaha paradhinaha is known like that. I'm adheen. I'm controlled by my Lord, my Lord. Devotees are his Lord. So Lord said, Tathastu. So be it. idea was, I'm sure this was, Pandhapur was thinking that in future devotees will come, pilgrims will come, will also come from Bangalore. And so they also would benefited in the future. So Lord stayed on and on and on and on till today. Yes, he has stayed on so that we could all take his darshan. So Lord, who appeared in Mathura, right? Soon we are going to be celebrating Janmashtami. In the middle of the night, he appeared, and then in the middle of the night, of course, he goes over to Gokul. And Krishna jinka naam hai, Gokul jinka dhaam hai, aise Sri Bhagavan ko mere kya बारंबार प्रणाम है. आप लोग आता ही है, हाँ? So that Lord who appeared in Mathura, then to Gokul, Vrindavan, then back to Mathura after 11 years or so, and spending 18 years in Mathura, and he moves to Dwarka, and then spending another lot of time. All marriages and all that happened there. Lord had come here, and of course we have to. Lord stayed here, and also he also returned to Mathura, Dwarka, and soon he wounded up his pastimes in Dwarka and on this earth, and Krishna Swadhamopagate, he returned to his own abode. Okay. Formalities completed. He had appeared, so he also disappeared. Antardhan, okay, Lord. But in one form, that he stayed on in this world, we could say on this planet. And he's staying on to this day. And that Lord is, who is that? Who is it? Lord Vitthal, Vitthal, this Lord who stood on the brink. That's the meaning of Vitthal. brick we call, in Hindi they say eat, eat, eat. In Marathi we call wheat, wheat, wheat. So one who stood on the wheat, he became a bit tall. Standing on the brick is a bit tall. So to this day he's standing on that brick. So of course you understand that meant he's supposed to have understood that this Pandurang was not a deity that was carved in Jaipur or somewhere and then transported to Pandhapur, and then there was a Pran Pratishtha Mahotsav, and nothing of that sort has happened. Lord came to Pandhapur and he stood and he's just staying on and on and on. So that is a very, very special and very unique feature or aspect or greatness or mahatmya of Panduranga. So all the devotees in last 5,000 years or so, those who have come here, they all the acharyas, Madhvacharya and Ramanujacharya and this one and that one, and of course Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more than acharya, he's Lord himself. And amongst them Shankaracharya also. And Lord gave him very special darshan and realization. Such a hardcore impersonalist Shankaracharya. Nirakar, Nirgun. Wadi Shankaracharya as in Pandhapur, he glorified Panduranga to his heart's content. It is known as Pandurangastak. Pandurangastak. Mahayoga Pite Tate Bhimaratya. This is how it begins. Mahayoga Pite says Pandharpur is Mahayoga Pite, the seat of the Lord, Mahayoga Pite. Tate Bhimarathya, Tate means on the banks, Tate. Bhimarathi is another name of Chandrabhaga, a river, Tate Bhimarathi. Varam Dhatum Pundarikaya says to give var or benediction to Pundalik. Lord arrived here in in Pandhapur. This is his first ashtak. And each ashtak ends with Parabrahmalingam bhaje Pandurangam. 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 Lingam is form. Lingam is form, root. So like Brahma said, Govindam Adi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajami. And here, Shiva has appeared as Shankaracharya and as his Parabrahmalingam Bhaje Panduranga. I worship Panduranga, which is Parabrahma. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. That Lord is Panduranga and I worship. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so you'll be here for a few more days? What's your tomorrow? Tomorrow afternoon.
Sunday afternoon.
Sunday. I'm leaving for Hyderabad tomorrow morning. There's some.
From Hyderabad, she's come to Bangalore also.
So that's good. You already have Jagataka Maharaj with you there. Take darshan, touch the lotus feet, and leave. So you could get to be with the deities for 1.5 hours. Very personal, private, very intimate association and darshan. And when Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he had come. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was here in town, like you have come on pilgrimage of Pandhapur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also had come. Then, of course, he had taken holy dip in Chandrabhaga Maya Ki, holy dip, and Lord, he had ran to the temple. Why run? Why was he running? Because he was so anxious, so eager, called laulyam. He was so greedy to have darshan. So after entering temple and darshan mandap, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also his darshan was not just seeing, we also see and we also get to touch. But what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do was he embraced Panduranga. And then Panduranga must have embraced Gauranga. Really. So this is a meeting place of Panduranga, Gauranga. Panduranga, Gauranga. Panduranga, Gauranga. Gauranga. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, danced, chanted and danced and danced. Who knows how long. And while chanting and dancing, he would never look at the watch. And then he also, of course, did a lot of public chanting, Nagar Kirtan. And 500 years ago, I don't think this was a nagar, this was just a gram. You understand? Nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoive moranam. And some places are gram, villages, some places are nagar, towns, like your Bangalore is nagar. I was born in gram myself, small village, not far from here. And as Pujari holds the big ball of butter, and while Lord is eating, in the middle they offer arati.